everybody, Skip here, and this is welcome for the unboxing. Actually, partially already unboxed. I did unbox it, but figured I'd show a few parts before I start throwing this thing together. And I got bored and I was looking around on the auctions on eBay and came across this, and the pricing was still pretty low. It's a F-22 Raptor. It's by LX Models. I believe you can get them through Banana Hobby. I think there's a couple other places. Blitz RC, they carry these. I just happened to see this one. I was actually interested in another plane that I got bid out on in the last second, and you know that happens. I don't do that very often. I've never had a whole lot of luck at it, so I haven't played with eBay bidding and auctions and stuff too much lately. But I gave this a shot, and you know, I didn't think my bid would stick, and it did for like 3 days until about 3 minutes before, and then somebody started hitting on the bids, and at the last 3 seconds, I figured, well, you know, what's the most I would spend on this thing, and it just happened to be one of the ones I really wanted when I first started flying the jets. I wanted an F-22 Raptor, but I was going to get a 70 millimeter if they had them, but all I could find was 64s. 70 millimeters, by that time I'd moved into the F-16 and stuff, and now I'm already thinking of something bigger. So I was thinking about a 90 millimeter, and I come across this. It's not a 90 millimeter, but it is it's big. It's not all together. The nose got to go on it yet too. It stands with the nose here. It's going to stand probably a good. It's going to stand a good piece there, you know, on me. And you figure the wingspan here probably going to be, you know, good sized plane. Anyway, what it is though is it's not a 90 millimeter, but it does carry the size because it's a twin 70 millimeter. So in actuality, I suppose that probably makes it bigger than a 90 millimeter. I'm not sure. I don't have a 90 millimeter. It was in my sights to do something like that, and maybe make it a winter project. But now I've got something here. I think this will kind of keep me busy for a little while. The deal was, I mean, it's partially, it's a complete set. The most it ever was out of a box, so it's got a couple of little dents. I put the front, it comes in 2 halves. I did put the top half on here, and it's not totally secure yet, and it's a little rough here, so I'll be doing a little bit of doctoring and you know, stuff that, fill that in. You won't even see it, especially once I'm finished the whole model. I'm going to fill in the imperfections with a little bit of the hobby glaze, and I happen to have just a ton of different colors and stuff here. In fact, I've got the full spectrum, so I can actually mix my own paint if I need to apply anything and blend things in. I also got myself a little, well, I shouldn't say just got. I mean, I've had this stuff since I worked in the automotive business for, you know, over 30 years. But I mean, I've got a little portable compressor I plug in right here. I've got a spray gun. There's no reason I can't do all the work I need to do right here this winter. You know, nobody to bother me. Got the 3 dogs, keep me company. And I've got a little, I've gone ahead and set up one of those air purifiers. And I bought a carbon filter for it that looks pretty efficient. And I set the thing up right here on the table, and I've been able to spray, you know, under low volume and no mist in the house, and no fumes, no nothing. So that got that covered too. It saved me on paint, it'll save me on time, and I can do a much more professional job with a professional airbrush. So these are going to become real fun, as long as I don't have to keep rebuilding them. The F-16 is sitting back here, and you guys may have noticed the F-16. Anyway, oh, the wires are still attached, so I can't drag it out right now, but it's going together now for the 5th time. So it'll be, what is that? The Maiden. Yeah, that makes it right. of the F-16 from Free Wing, 70 millimeter. I've added some more buzzers and bells. Each time I build it, I do something a little bit different with it, or if I like what I've got, I still usually add two. So in this case, it's getting 12 blade fan. I know I already increased the motor size and the speed of it like twofold, but a couple other surprises up my sleeve for that plane. Once I get it back together again. And I've got new electronics for it, so we won't be losing it in the air anymore. If anybody was curious, Walkera radios are notorious, I guess, for signal loss. And I found that out the hard way on numerous occasions. Recently, with the crashed P-51 Mustang. That video is up on YouTube as well. But, you know, being kind of new in the sport and only starting since last April, I had no clue that that some of the weird flying I've had where I felt like I lost control a little bit was, in fact, the radio that I was holding. Big, important part. Well, I know now. So anyway, it took somebody else to fly. I felt bad about it too because a friend of mine, I pushed him into flying the damn thing, and you just don't do that in RC. And I'm learning. I've learned that too now. And you know, he felt bad. Even whether it was his fault or not, he still felt bad, and I made him do that. So I feel bad for that. So the best thing to do is you avoid that. You just have the balls to just do it yourself. And you know, ordinarily, if he hadn't been there, I'd have flown it. I'd have flown it anyway. But I just thought, well, since he had one, I'd give him a try. You know, let him do it, and whew, you know, take the sweat off of my brow. But hey, it crashed, and it happens. But you know what? I told him to. Don't worry about it. It's just a plane. I mean, I've seen tons of pieces, and they are. It's just foam. It's foam. Nice foam, but cool part is it loves glue. It loves glue and paint, and you can make something really damaged look pretty darn good again without too much effort. So, you know, like I said, it's just an airplane. And told him, hey, listen, you know what? The best thing comes out of this still is that we learned, and I got. He's a very experienced pilot, so I mean, I got the best knowledge I could get from him, and he pinpointed radio right away. Well, I'd already been suspecting it a little bit, but you know, you didn't want to think that one of your main components and something you've been flying everything with is at fault. But so anyway, I've replaced it now with Spectrum. I got a nice DX9 black edition, came with a nice case and a strap. We're going to get that all set up. In the meantime, I'm just using a Spectrum DX6i. Won't be able to use it on this jet, but you know, unless I fly with minimum stuff. But this, getting back to the subject here, about a $500 jet retail. I got it for just a little over a couple $100. I think I paid with. I didn't have to pay shipping, no tax, obviously, but I bid one for like $230, and wow, cool. Twin 70 millimeter for $230. I got something to put together. It's a nice jet. It's got the front flaps, you know, for speed brakes. It's got full flaps. It's got aileron control. It's a 10 or 12 channel F-22. It has a canopy with the pilot and a parachute that you hit the switch and it ejects the canopy and the parachute, and the pilot canopy and everything comes down on a parachute. Plane keeps going. It's got these guys right here with these wires sticking out the back, and they go underneath the wings, and you flip a switch and you can deploy smokes or shoot chaff, or you know, I'll leave the rest up to your imagination. But they come with cartridges, with smoke cartridges that just wire up, and they give you the electronics that you just plug into your receiver, and it's got two igniters on the end, and it'll fire off an electronically ignited, you name it. So I mean, this is cool. The smoke part is cool. I wouldn't be doing anything else but that. But it looks like the possibilities are endless. But the rest of it, you know, all the missiles and everything, these things even cost bucks. But yeah, even the parachute, it's not just plastic, it's nylon. It's a decent quality stuff here. 12 blade fan, one of them. I don't know where the other one's at. But metal EDF, I think it's dual 80 amp ESCs. This is the upgraded model. And I believe it does have 12 blade fans in it. But it has a metal EDF. If it didn't, I had this I was going to check out and see. This one may only have 6, but it is metal bodies and bigger motors, and obviously higher amperage. This is going to run on a 6S 5000. I've got a 6S 4000. I'll run it. It'll maybe fly it about a minute less. I'll probably be ready to land it by that time anyway. And just throw a little weight in the nose if I have to. But save me $100 on another battery. So anyway, I'm going to get this thing together and give you guys an idea what it's going to look like here. Yeah, let me just do this real quick, and you guys get an idea. But then I'm going to go ahead and start throwing it together, and I'll do it on a time lapse like I did my Raptor repair. It go by real quick, but you still get to see, if you pay attention, kind of what's going on and what I'm doing. So you see, pretty much this is just throwing it together. I have to put the all the control horns and the linkages and that stuff on there yet, but this gives you an idea. I'll give you an idea how big it's going to be too next to me here. Okay. Just $230, guys. Not bad. Got lucky on that auction, didn't I? Take care. Thanks for watching. Next time you see it, I'll have it all together. And then we'll have to maiden this one. I got a feeling it's going to be easy to fly, because most of it is wing surface. If you look at the bottom of it, it's flat. So this is going to fly probably really easy, and I bet you I get some real slow flight out of it, especially with the speed brakes and the flaps. I bet you under throttle this is still, with the flaps and speed brakes deployed at the same time. I bet this thing still flies real nice, and I bet it flies slow if you want it to. Other than that, 100 mile an hour piece of foam. What do you think? Alright, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you soon. Oh. That's the F-22 Raptor from LX Models. This is the huge one, guys. The giant 1.51 meter. Take care.